Welcome to another in-car Waiting for Children podcast episode.
Yep, it's a very catchy name.
How's it going? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
Just commented about that to someone on a call today.
What did you say?
Well, at some point, I hope to run into my wife today. She's like, "Oh, that'd be nice." I'm like, "Yep."
And then was that it?
Yeah, that was literally the conversation. It wasn't really earth-changing.
I haven't seen you in ages.
No, not since this morning.
But even...
Oh, just in general? Yeah, no, it's been months.
Yeah,
it's been months. Yeah.
Well, because I was away again.
You were.
Last week, and you're going away again in, tomorrow.
I'm not going away again. I'm going away. Can't really use the again for me. I don't get out much anymore. But yes, I'm going out of town. Yes.
But I will be apart again.
Yes, that is an absolute true statement. We will be separated and continue to foster the narrative that we've divorced.
What?
I mean, what? It's a yearly occurrence. How long have your parents been separated? And then the kids get awkward. They'll be like, "They're not separated. My mom's just antisocial."
Or busy.
Or busy. They usually lead with antisocial because they see us at the same place, nowhere near each other. Infrequently, I should say.
We're always together. If I'm out, I'm with you.
Yeah, at a delayed response time. I've spent 45 minutes in a rink and then all of a sudden you show up and stand in a corner.
Usually a corner with you.
Depends on if you're being mean.
But yeah, I will stay in the car for 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, at least.
Do my work. Hey, man, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for this podcast. Maybe this podcast is holding us together.
Maybe. But, I mean, I was worried that if I left the hockey pool, I would lose my friends, and I didn't. So maybe it isn't about the podcast or the hockey pool. Maybe it's about the friendships you make along the way.
All right. I was trying to come up with it.
You didn't, though. I saw it. I saw the wheel turning.
I know.
And there's just a whole lot of nothing going out on the airwaves.
Find the right words to, make my witty comment.
But man, when it shows up in about an hour, it's going to be amazing. Be hilarious when you tell me.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about it. The fall colors are here. I'm not ready for winter yet.
I got to see McDavid play and Draisaitl, even though they're on the worst team in the universe.
And then you must have been the reason that he finally figured, I better sign this extension because they announced today he signed.
McDavid
did. So it was all because of you, because of the support you gave him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will say it wasn't probably their best game, and Draisaitl was definitely looking older. I thought he was in his 40s. I cannot believe he's only 29.
Yeah. No, there's no real athletes in the NHL in their 40s.
No, but he looks like an old man. You
know why?
Why?
Because losing year after year after year ages a person.
Oh, hopefully you Oilers fans don't take offense.
I don't care. Take offense. Your team's the worst. Like two teams that I would die happy never seeing them raise the cup again. Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Vancouver.
Vancouver doesn't annoy me as much because their fans kind of realized, our team is trash, and they've kept their mouth shut. Edmonton and Toronto every year act like this is their year to win the cup, and every year it's the same outcome.
Actually, it's funny you say that because I was in Vancouver and somebody was talking about, you don't come to Vancouver for hockey. You come for Vancouver. There's mountains and there's fun stuff to do and skiing.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in places like Edmonton, there's nothing else to do other than
you're going to see the Elks. You're going to go see the Oilers. You're going to see how quickly you can get through traffic and head south on QE2.
I will say, so it was a Canucks-Oilers game in Vancouver. So we were in Vancouver. I was at a place where I couldn't see when there was a goal, just how I was situated. So when there was a goal, every time, the noise, the cheering was so loud. I always thought it was Vancouver. it was actually Edmonton. Edmonton out-cheered the Vancouver. Vancouver then was trying to like pick up the slack by booing the Edmonton, but
As they should.
it was unbelievable how many Oilers fans were there.
The McJesus effect.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that there's always a clown at a Flames game wearing a Leafs jersey or a Habs jersey when neither of those teams are playing the Flames. It's the same effect.
It was funny. There was a Flames guy at this game.
Which is awesome. That's really funny, actually. What a tool. What a tool.
No, but Maya and I were both like, I wish we had our Flames gear.
No,
Yes.
don't wear. If your team isn't on the ice, leave it at home.
Only if it's the Oilers playing.
I would almost buy a Vancouver Canucks jersey just to go against the Oilers then.
But yeah, there were others. There was an Avs guy.
Yep. Yeah. There's usually some guy wearing an old school Minnesota North Stars, or if they're really going for a deep cut, you'll see a Whalers jersey every so often.
Oh.
Yeah, which that one I'm okay. The Whalers, you can wear that in. That's single-handedly one of the greatest logos ever created for a sports team.
I was hoping I'd be able to see the Jets coming up here, but they are going to be in Calgary when I'm in Winnipeg.
Yep, and our child, who felt bad for you, immediately suggested that she and I go to that game just to make you feel bad.
Yeah. I will be in Denver when Colorado's playing.
Should go.
I should go.
Ball Arena is a good place to check it out.
Yeah.
Don't get into the White Claws.
I don't drink.
Well, I didn't drink White Claws until that night either.
I don't drink, period.
Well, White Claws will sneak up on you. You won't even think you're drinking them.
What's untapped today?
Well, do you know what the term sharenting is?
Sharenting?
Yeah. It has nothing to do with a word that's very similar and it requires a change of pants. It is sharenting.
Oh, I was going to say, I was thinking the word share.
As in the performer?
No, as in sharing your toys.
Yeah.
Or
No, you're very much on the right track.
Sharing.
Sharenting refers to, no, you're getting way too responsible for this. Sharenting refers to the act of parents overexposing their children online in terms of all these updates and look what my kid's doing. I look at
media parents.
Exactly. So there is an interesting study now, because we've talked about it for a long time, and everybody that hears this probably is sick hearing it, but about the whole being online and overuse of media and technology and all of that. Apparently, there's a growing movement, so a decline ultimately in the amount of parents that are sharenting. Okay, so they're recognizing that it's not good. It's starting to raise questions around mental health for their kids, right? Not being in control of it. We've talked at length with our kids about, because they don't, not like we have a huge presence online, but even this podcast, right? They don't like, a lot of times Willow listens to this to make sure that she has control over what we say or don't say.
She will definitely edit.
Yeah, 100%. Right. And that's kind of where we're okay with it, right? Like, obviously.
She listens. If she doesn't, well.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do, kid? You should have paid attention. No, but we'll respect that, right? If she comes out and says, I don't want this, or it's something and then we can work around it, we will, because it's her person being put out into the world, right? As parents that don't have social media, it's not really anything else we have to worry about. But there's a lot of people out there that do. So with that, from your definition, what would you consider to be too much? I've got a couple of questions. So this isn't the main topic, but what would you consider to be too much to share as a parent? Like where is that balance between I'm keeping people up to date and I'm oversharing and potentially overexposing my kid in an environment that I can't control?
Yeah. So, oh man, I already had 10 ideas flash and I'm going to forget them all. Anything that is from their perspective embarrassing or humiliating.
So how do you define that if the child is too young?
Yeah.
Right? And it's a legit question, because I've seen some pictures back when I was on social media and I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
Right? But obviously my interpretation of that is completely different from that parent.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you define that?
Yeah. It's tricky. I do think that's tricky. I would say for sure any nudity kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, yeah.
Don't even pictures in the bathtub.
Yeah.
I would just not do that, because you don't know, we always say, I'm always telling kids, you want to be well Googled, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be, but who knows, what's going to be associated from 10 years ago when your parents put up something. I wouldn't say, things getting in trouble. One of my biggest pet peeves I've actually stopped being, because I was asked to be experts in different parent groups. I've stopped. I just can't do it because parents are, excuse my language, we got to remember that this is going to be explicit, but shit talking their kids and saying that they're royal brats or pain in my butt and this. Like, if you are talking poorly about your child, that's definitely a problem. I'll get back to like humiliating, embarrassing stuff, but I'll kind of go through this stuff. It seems, like common sense, but it's amazing how much, like, or even just they're driving me crazy, right? Or those jokes around they're driving me to drink a bottle of wine every night. All of those things are definitely problematic. Comparing them to other kids.
Yes.
That's a problem. And I see that not even on social media, just on other chats. How did your kid do on this test? Oh, mine only got a 65, right? Like that social comparison. Oh my gosh, that has been
huge. Yeah.
Or like, I'm worried about my child's weight, and so I'm looking for resources. How do I talk about my kid? Like, even those things, they seem really subtle and innocent, but you're putting that all out there. And kids, if they see that or anybody sees it, I mean, there's just so much internalizing and shame. Like, even my mom thinks I'm fat or whatever it is, right? Like, so I think we've really got to be careful. With the embarrassing stuff, it is tricky. Like, at what age, like if it was something like, we're making fun of their lisp. Isn't it so cute? I think that would be a problem. Versus like our daughter would. I remember since this is explicit anyways, I'm going to say the F word here but she would say the flying fuck.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right? That's kind of funny. It's not a lisp. She just thought that fox was the F word, right? And so and she would just go around because we would laugh and then she would just go around, right? That is a little bit more innocent. There's other things. I'm just thinking of one. I won't say what she said, but one Christmas or Thanksgiving.
She C-bombed us. C-bombed us right at the Christmas dinner table.
Yeah. So, like that, I guess that could be funny.
But I mean, I see what you're saying. There's a range. You have to, like, not that this will cover every situation, but if you wouldn't be comfortable about someone calling you out about it without your consent, you kind of have to apply the same to your kids, right? If you're not comfortable saying, oh, you failed at work on this project publicly where you can't control it, why would you say your kid failed a test? Yeah. Right? If you're not comfortable with someone saying, hey, you put on a few pounds, hey, publicly, why would you bring that up about your kid? Yeah, right? Like, good, yeah. One of the things that I think, and this is not parenting specific, this is societal. People need to learn to mind their business. Like, they need to relearn it. Like, yes, you can, like, the internet and all of that it creates an opportunity for open communication. People aren't responsible enough for that much freedom. Let's be honest. Like, it really comes down to, yeah, if you wouldn't discuss it yourself, why would you put it on the internet? Why do you think it's okay to put it on the internet? And it's the same as anything else, right? The old adage of you never talk about religion or politics. It should apply to a lot of your family life too. Keep it private. It is your family for a reason. Work it out, right? Show some decorum.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and even, there's so much in this. Like, I think it's just so, and I'm brain freezing. There's something else I was going to say. I can't remember.
It derailed you?
Maybe.
We can come back to it. That's fine. I think part of it is if we're looking at it. Oh, yeah.
One thing I was going to say, I mean, this is kind of a sidestep. I mean, why are you going to other parents who are not experts? Like, just going back to asking these innocent questions and resources and things like that. 87 plus, like, it depends on what the topic is, but generally, like, for autism, ADHD, it's even higher. But even just anxiety, 87% of the information that's out on the internet is incorrect. And it's oftentimes other parents who are like, I parented this. I'm now an expert in this, who don't know what they're talking about and they're giving bad advice anyways. And so you go to reputable sources, then you're not giving any of your kids information. But I'm even just thinking about like graduation and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's amazing to me how much parents it revolved their whole lives, all of their lives around their kids. And all of their posts are just everything that their child ate for breakfast, what they did at night, what they won, it's pretty much their entire child's life. And so it's like their whole identity and anything that they have to say is all about that. I think that's a problem.
Well, it's they're looking for that validation externally, and this is a harsh way to put it, but at the end of the day, you should live your life as a parent in a way that unless you know the person directly, they've got no clue you have a child.
Yeah.
Right? Like if someone you don't really know has insight or has visibility on what you're doing on Sunday, how you're spending time with your kids, all the challenges you're having, again, would you be comfortable with that if the computer wasn't in the equation? And if the answer is yes, weird, first of all, but it's probably no. And if it is no, apply that same rigor to how you go out in the world, right? And I'll be honest, the number one thing, we talk about this a lot, the more you replace online interaction with real connection and relationship building out in the world, the more we'll see a lot of what's happening right now settle down a lot, because there's no repercussions to having an opinion based solely on opinion and not on fact or anything else. And it just drives the wrong kind of conversations, to your point. And the internet is not a safe space for a lot of things. It's not a safe space for research. It's not a safe space for relationships. It's not a safe space in general, because people that are interacting with the internet don't typically understand what it is they're interacting with and how it's being presented to them. Meaning, most people don't understand that most of what they're viewing online is curated to their interests and tastes, taken from what you searched on Google to go purchase, the purchases you've actually made, things you've posted on Facebook, whatever, right? That is all curated and then fed back to you because the algorithm is designed to present you a version of reality that you're comfortable with. So again, why do you think these interactions that you're having publicly are any different? You don't know if the person that's commenting on a parent group is a parent, is a person, is right.
That's true.
Right? Like,
especially on Facebook. It's been incredible how many AI bots have like taken over.
Oh, 100%. One of the funniest things that I've seen is guys that are aware of it. They'll see someone like post something on like X or Twitter or whatever, and they'll respond with a command prompt that forces the bot to respond a specific way, and it does. Now, is that real? I don't know. It's funny to see, but you can look for examples across most of the internet and the media components that show the same update coming from multiple sources, like a news feed, word for word, the exact same. What does that mean? That means that what is happening is it's being pushed out in a specific way by a group of people to the broadest audience possible and being presented as a unique thought. Well, you've just basically given a single talking point to the most amount of people you can find in the world, and no one in that small recipient list on one part of it understands the scope of what they've just seen. And that's how you shape narratives online. It's no different when you're coming down to like what you're sharing with your kids or how you're sharing it. That what is being presented back to you is a lot of times deliberately curated to be the response, either because what is being presented back is going to drive you to an action that the person wants or that the corporation wants or whatever, which is go purchase our thing or go whatever, or they're trying to push you in a specific direction because it changes the public opinion about something, which again benefits someone else. And I know, sounds tinfoil hat, sounds conspiratorial. We live in an age where you can't go to the bathroom in a restaurant without being bombarded with messaging, right? Digital, print. You literally can't pee without someone trying to shape your interaction in that moment and take up a bit of your space. Why would you willingly put your children into that same environment and have that used back against you? Or conversely, why would you build something that when they're 18 years old, they say, I want to see this, and they look and they are horrified to realize that for years you were putting stuff out there that they had no idea about, and now it's out there forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and for me, like that's where the predators are. Parents are so worried about, like what's going to happen if they walk to school by themselves, but it's these people online who are
Yeah.
following, right?
100%.
And then they have all this information.
Yeah. And that's how you get picked up. Right. That's how stuff happens. So yeah, I think it's what would you think is, so say everybody just woke up tomorrow and they're like, you know what, we're done. The vast majority of people and parents want to try and change it. What are, in your opinion, meaningful ways that they could try and still create the, like, I guess, provide updates without overexposure, or potentially, yeah, let's just call it overexposure. So what are alternatives?
Well, I just think of like, why are you doing it in the first place? Everyone talks about how so busy they are and how, I mean, that's taken up probably 10, 15 minutes at a minimum of your day, probably hours of your day. Wouldn't you want to go how could you spend that time more meaningfully? And what is the purpose of it? Is it truly so that grandma and grandpa have updates? Well, is there a way you can have like a photo, like a shared folder? Like really think about what your values are and the whys. Because I feel like people just want to put up this curated life. I mean, it's making everybody feel worse. It's making other people feel worse. It's making you feel worse because you know that curated life isn't what's really happening, for example. And then you assume everybody else has this perfect life, but it's just curated too. We're just, I don't know. I would say take it off, shut it down. I mean, neither of us, I do have my accounts, but it's strictly for social media. Every so often I might put something up. But
social media for business.
For business.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. For like my podcast, like for the podcast or things like that. That's pretty much all. I don't have time for anything else. But I wouldn't, every so often I will put something out there. But it's about being purposeful, really, at the end of the day, right? That's what I would say. Is that kind of what you're getting?
Yeah. There's no wrong answer to it. It's more just curious what your thoughts are. Because to me, you're absolutely right. Like when you look at the time, like it's the same thing as people go, oh my God, I'm so busy. Oh yeah, what'd you do last night? Were you out? No, I mean, I watched The Bachelorette and I watched this and I watched that. Okay, well that's 2 or 3 hours, right? So could you not have redirected that time to something just as relaxing but more meaningful? Probably, but people don't, right? And that's again, I'm not saying you have to stop watching TV or whatever, because we do it ourselves, right? We're zonked, but we accept it for what it is. We're exhausted and we're just going to go watch TV, right? That's fine. But what else? I think the purposeful piece is a good part of it. Could you turn some of that time into other ways to connect with people? Have people over for coffee, go for a walk, just go outside and see who you run into, whatever it is, right? Because I think a lot of it is there's a desire to have your life, the curated presentation of life is a great way of putting it, because you're absolutely right. It's the select bits that you want people to see, because that's specifically what you want validated, right? I want to be validated that I know what I'm doing with as a parent. When we grew up, if I showed up at the end of the day to the house still breathing, that's a check mark from my parents. They won. That was all they needed to accomplish. I didn't die and they didn't kill me because I did something stupid, right? It's a win. That's not what people want now. And this is what leads into a lot of these problems that we find with people getting way too involved in their kids' sports, getting way too involved in their kids' schools, getting way too involved in all these, because you're trying to make sure that the decisions that you make are known and accepted and validated by people out there, and you just don't need it.
And we know that that's a huge thing, is everyone is getting their validation for their being or for whatever externally through social media. And that's a problem. If you're not getting the likes, like that one not like or negative comment, it's going to affect you and your kids
for ages.
And so I'm thinking of purpose, like every time you're going to pick up a device or post something, think of the why. Why am I picking up this device? Why do I need to check emails right now?
Yep.
Like for me, it's like, okay, I'm wrapping up the day. Is there any last minute things that like sometimes right now I'm just coming down to like practicum application deadlines, right? So very close. Is there any last minute things, right? Or, why am I picking up my phone for Duolingo? Well, I want to make sure I'm going to go on for 30 seconds so I can keep my streak alive. Have a purpose,
Yeah.
right? Why are you going onto Facebook or Instagram? If you don't have a specific reason why you're going on there, and just because I'm bored or just
Or
want to
just like
check,
it. Yeah, just
just
like it.
see, that's not good,
No.
right? It's like, oh, so and so told me, well, Maya the other day, she's part of a new club and they were posting, she doesn't have social media. And the club was posting the new pictures and she wanted to see which pictures that she had submitted were posted. So we went in specifically to see that. And that was it.
Yep.
30 seconds. No, not in there yet. Right?
Done.
So like, yeah, and I would model that and talk out loud, right? I'm just picking up my phone right now because I just want to, get my streak for today. And then we're going to hang out. Or I just need to make sure that our podcast was posted for this morning or whatever, right?
Yep.
So being purposeful and then you're done. And it's setting those boundaries. But you do need to find other things to do.
Yes.
And so brainstorm, create lists, get your family involved. I mean, one thing that we're going to the rink tonight, but after dinner, we go for walks. We're doing that again a little bit more. So it's just filling that time with other things.
Yeah. Find ways that you can like approach it from the perspective of spend as much time as you can doing things that are worthy of being posted online, and then just don't post it online.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like go out and live all the stuff you want to do and all the cool things you want to do, and then just be present in that moment. And then when you meet someone for coffee or you have them over to your house, tell them about it, interact with them about it, one-on-one, build your community that way, because there's just no reason. And everybody says it. And I kept Facebook for years. And I realized not everybody uses Facebook anymore because nobody cools on Facebook. But
do nobody? I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't know. Is Facebook even still a thing?
Maybe for old people. I don't know.
Marketplace, maybe. That's about it.
I don't know.
But I kept it for so long because I justified, well, it's a great way for me to post pictures and see pictures of my nephew and show my brother and others that weren't in the same city as us what was going on with girls. But at the end of the day, I can just text them.
Well, that's just it. I was thinking about that, like when graduation happened last year with friends, I was going to go online and check out pictures. And then I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And I just reached out to my friend. Hey, I know your daughter graduated this year. How was it?
Yeah.
Tell me all about it.
Absolutely. Right. Let them explain to you the ins and outs and be genuinely involved as opposed to how many times can you get a thumbs up? How many times can you post stuff? It doesn't matter. Like that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Buy a photo album, go old school, get a photo album, bring someone over and show it. Just make them suffer through a slideshow if you want to go really old school, but it's still the experience of showing it in that way. Right. So yeah, I would say anything you can do to make memories, do it. Anything that requires you to feel like you have to share those memories to an unexpected mass audience, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth it. It's the same reason. And if anybody happens to be from my high school and listening to this, if I haven't texted you since high school, why do I need you to know what's going on with my family online?
Right.
Doesn't mean I don't like you. Doesn't mean I wouldn't love to connect with you. I just ran into a buddy from university that I haven't seen in decades. We're going for a coffee next week.
Are you? I want to come or at least hear about it.
Yeah, of course I'll tell you about it. So, but it's that, right? Like
I'm not invited.
I can ask him. Sure. I don't know if he did.
Fine.
All right.
Fine.
Yeah, he just made it weird now. All of a sudden, I feel like I got to bring my wife along just in case. This is my wife. She wants to be here to make sure I don't say anything stupid. But it's those sort of things, right? Like I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great to catch up. I have had no desire, nor have I felt like I've been missing out on anything by not seeing daily updates from this dude about his life.
Right. Well, and just going back to the post that you're putting about your kids too, even questions and stuff. If it was something like, I'm just thinking of some of the broad, self or them deprecating kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you would be upset if somebody else posted that about your kid.
Yeah. Don't post it.
Don't post it. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you were upset someone's going to post about you, don't post it.
Or if it was weird, like, why is so-and-so posting pictures of my daughter in her grad dress?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. there's a really, one last thought. There's a really funny bit. Well, maybe it's not funny, but it's appropriate. Where I think it's Family Guy, an old Family Guy episode, where the guy pulls out a picture of his wallet and he's like, "You want to see a picture of my kids?" And he shoves it in the guy's face and repeatedly smacks him in the face with his wallet, with his family, with his picture. That's what posting online is.
Yeah.
That's exactly the representation of it. Nobody asked for whether they, sure, they're going to be, oh my God, I love seeing that stuff. Sure. Yeah. They're being polite. Maybe they do like to do it. Do they really need to? Nah. Is it going to make your connections worse by not posting it? No, frankly, it'll be the opposite, right? The internet and social media and all of these things have the potential to do great things. People are not using them in the way that does that because they're using it for, and whether they understand it or not, they're using it for selfish reasons, which is solely coming from what they want to get out of this interaction. What's the point?
Yeah. And the message for kids, like one last final thing. I'm actually working with a family where this is in the States. I do, consulting with families in different parts of the world. So maybe it's different in the States. I don't know. But the daughter has started to post stuff inappropriate that, she's a teenager now. She's beautiful. She's posting all of these sexually suggestive posts. And she's upset. Like, Mom, you've been posting pictures about me, even naked pictures when I was a baby, since I've been a baby, right?
Yeah.
And not understanding, like, what's the fine line? You've told all of the details of our life.
Yeah.
And I just posted a picture, right?
Yeah.
So, kids just start thinking that's normal.
Well, you normalize it.
So,
You absolutely normalize being an open book. And what you do is you rob your kids of the value of their own identity.
totally.
That's it. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to make it as harsh as possible, you've stripped your kid of the ability to protect the parts of them that they find are important because you've not put any importance on it yourself. You have chosen showing off over building an identity that your kid wants to protect.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Yep. Good way to sum up.
Oh, I nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Well done. Another successful car episode.
It's hot in here.
Well, because I turned the car out, so we can be.
And
you know what?
50 million layers.
And we're on fire.
We are.
Another high five.
High five.
Beauty. Good day.
Good day.